I think definitely I mean, we were all so nervous coming into this, and we had all put so much effort into it. I think it was very easy for us to bond with each other and make friends because all of us were just open to that. We weren't thinking that this is a competition. I'm not going to talk to anyone. We genuinely wanted everyone to do well. We genuinely wanted to make friends. We because to me at least, the most important thing about Miss Universe is that you make these friendships that last for life. You make these connections with people all over the world, and I think that's what's the most important thing about Miss Universe, showing that no matter where you come from, we can all be friends. We can all be supportive of each other. We don't have to fight. We don't have to get political. We don't have to have drama. So I think that's what Miss Universe is about, and I think we really got to embrace that. And that's why I made so many friends, especially with the Asian girls, Philippines,
Yes.
Nepal, Vietnam, and India as well. So I think it was really fun, really exciting, and I hope I can see them again in real life. It would be so fun to go visit them. But let's see. Let's hope the COVID situation, goes down a bit. Let's all stay safe, and then I am already planning my year-end vacation to go visit them.
So let's finally talk about them. Speaking of friends, I think that's what they have been waiting for ever since this interview started. How did you and Miss Philippines click together?
Me and Miss Philippines, we clicked
Bea.
immediately. Beatrice, Bea, we clicked immediately. I was a bit nervous because I thought that, she would be very focused, very, very, because I mean, she's from a big country. She's from Philippines. Philippines is very intense with the pageants. So I thought she would ignore me and just focus on her pageant. But she was so sweet from day one. She was so sweet and so kind to me. I forgot to bring my toothbrush. She lent me one. She brought me some shoes from Philippines as well. So she's so sweet and kind, and she was always helping me and giving me advice on how I should do my makeup or what I should wear for something because she has a bit more experience than me, and I loved being a roommate with her because we were very understanding of each other. When I mean the rooms are sometimes very small and we have a lot of luggage, so it sometimes gets a bit pressure that oh, I want this space or I want this mirror. But I think we were very understanding with each other, and we knew that we're all just here for the same thing, and it was just a really fun experience. And we still talk with each other, and she was sharing about how she's with her family right now and she cut her hair. So
Yes.
it's she was telling me in during the pageant that she had very long hair for the pageant, and then she saw my hair. She said that after the pageant she's going to cut it off. She said that she wanted to feel free and feel like very light in
Right.
her hair. So she told me she was going to cut it off, and then when I saw that she actually did it, I messaged her saying it looks nice. Yeah.
Oh, so you're the major reason why she decided to have a haircut. I thought, when girls, usually, right, when girls would cut their hair, it always says something about themselves, like they just emerged from a breakup or some sort of an emancipation. But, oh, wow, that's what
Um,
roommates are doing for each
and
other,
influencer.
inspiring one another, right? But
Yeah.
you know what? I guess before this interview, I interviewed Bea like before
Mhm.
Christmas time, a day after she arrived here from Israel, and she mentioned that um, you guys clicked together the moment you both saw each other during the transit flight
Yes.
from from the from Turkey to Israel. So how was the impression like? How was the first impression
So
between you and Bea? Were you both seated in the business class, or did you just see each other the moment the airplane landed in Israel?
So I knew that they were going to be on that flight, and so I was feeling a little bit nervous because I didn't know what she would be like. Maybe she was a very quiet person, or maybe she was a very loud person. So I was thinking, I hope I can become good friends with her because Miss Valerie Lim, she's very close with the Philippines team. So I wanted to make good friends with Miss Universe Philippines before I knew her as Beatrice or Bea. I only knew her as Miss Universe Philippines. So we were both in business class. So she was already in her seat when I had come onto the plane. So I put my things into the plane, and then I saw Mama J and I think I saw Voltaire as well, who are from the Miss Universe Philippines team. So I saw them, and when I went closer, that's when I saw Bea, and she was wearing these sneakers because on the plane it's not comfortable to wear heels. So I remember her outfit was amazing, and then she was wearing sneakers because she wanted to be comfortable. So I thought that was quite funny that it was a very fashionable outfit, but it was with old sneakers. So I thought that was cute, and we talked a bit, and she introduced herself, and um, she was very sweet to me. And then I realized that I didn't have my iPhone charger, so I asked her, "Do you have an iPhone charger?" And she lent it to me. So the first thing she did for me was to be nice to me, be kind to me, and give me her charger. So that's how we became friends. And that's what I learned about Miss Universe Philippines, that even though they're from a country that is very strong about pageants, and you might think that they're only focused on the pageant, they don't care about anyone else. That's not true at all. At least for Beatrice, she's such a sweet girl. She talks to everyone. She helps everyone. I think that's what's the most like important quality about her, that she's so helpful. And I love that about her, and that's something I took away from her. And like, I want to learn and be more like her. I want to be more helpful to the people around me.
So this was during the time you have already arrived in the airport while waiting for the bus to transfer
No,
you
this
to
was
the
on the
hotel.
flight. This was
On
on
the
the flight.
flight. Oh, oh wow.
So the first time
Wow.
she saw me, she was helping me already. And that just shows how kind she is. That even though she met me literally like 5 minutes ago, she was willing to, give me her charger, make sure I'm okay. And yeah, she's very sweet. And from then on, we've been really good friends. And after that, I found out that she's my roommate. And I got so happy and so excited because, we already know each other. So that was really nice. And I mean, yeah, from the moment she moved in, we were like best friends. So it was an amazing feeling.
So you must have probably hugged her the
Yes,
moment you found out that she would be your roommate.
yes,
Bea!
yes.
I could
She
imagine.
actually, she, I came into the room first and I had set everything up, and then she came in dragging in all her luggage because she had more luggage than me. So we helped each other set the luggage up. We cleaned the room up, and we went down for dinner together for the first day. So it was a really fun experience, and I will never forget her. She's a very kind person. I think if to all the Filipino fans watching, I mean, she's a very kind person. She's a very genuine person, and don't stress her out. Don't pressure her. Don't say mean things to her because I will come and defend her because I love her.
So you did not have a hard time adjusting to her
Not
as a roommate. Because let's face it, you guys were always, had to wake up early, finish late, and, and you really had to do a lot of activities in between. So it was very smooth. Like,
it was
she for you could say that she would be like the best roommate ever.
honestly yes, because we didn't we knew that we would have to wake up very early. So we would ask each other, "Do you want to go to the shower first, or should I go?" We would make time for each other. We would do our makeup in separate places so that we don't disturb each other. And it was very nice that we got along really well. So I think I will never forget her. She's a very sweet roommate, and I think she made my Miss Universe experience like 10 times better. If my roommate was anyone else, I think it would have been way different. I think she was the perfect roommate for me.
So who was the alarm clock between the two of you every day?
I think she was the alarm clock because she would wake up and she would wake up before me. I was the one who would wake up late and then run to do my makeup, but she woke up before me. She had to do her long hair as well. That took some time. Mine was short hair. It was a bit easier, so I woke up after her so that she could have more time. So that was our routine. And she also said that she was very glad that she was roommates with me because her natural self, she's a bit shy and quiet. She's not loud, like explosive person. She tends to be a bit more introverted, and I'm also like that sometimes. So it was very nice when we came back to the room. Both of us would just be on our phones or like talk to each other softly. Like we would just be introverted and calm. So it was nice that we both had similar energies.
Yes. So yeah, there's no doubt. So I assume you must have also consoled her during the time that she was frantically worried about her missing luggage. I mean, Bea
Oh
did
yeah.
not address this, like, because I was too afraid to ask her, because I probably it's a non-issue already because it was found anyway. But how did you? I know this is like a trivial question, but since we live for all these nice
Small
small
bits of
stories
information.
happening in between. So, how was it? Did she really get worried uh, or panic when she found out that one of her luggages was missing?
So when she came to the room, when she first moved in, that's when she told me that one of her luggages was missing. They couldn't find it. And I was very nervous for her because, if one of my luggage went missing, I would be so scared because I wouldn't have clothes to wear. But she was quite calm about it. She knew what she had to do. She called the reception, she called the chaperone, she called the staff. She was looking very hard for her luggage because it's very important that we have all our things. But she was very calm, and she didn't freak out. She was very calm. She knew what she had to do, and I think in a day or two, I think they found it quite soon. And when she got it, she was so relieved. She was like, "Thank God, I found it." So it was very nice to see her happy again because I could tell, even though she was calm, she was a little bit nervous about not having that one luggage.
Up until now, we still don't know what did that missing luggage contain.
Yeah, I'm
For
not sure what it contains, but I just knew that the staff had accidentally put it in a different room and not in her room. That's why it was just stuck in that room. So the staff had to go and search every single room to find this luggage. And once they found it, they brought it back to her.
So, okay, let's leave Bea for the meantime and let's talk about another fellow Asian delegate who everyone is so waiting to ask you about, Miss Vietnam. How did you, Philippines and Vietnam, start being close with one another? Tell us more about the bonding moment with Miss Philippines and Miss Vietnam in your IG live video, Eating Vietnamese Food from Kitoy Suasba.
So Miss Vietnam, because she would go around calling everyone sister. No matter who you are, she would come and say, "Hey, sister," and she would just talk to you like that. So it was so sweet. We called her Kim or Miss Vietnam, and she was very different from me and Miss Philippines, Beatrice. Me and Beatrice, we were a bit more quiet, a bit more introverted. Whereas Kim, she was explosive energy. She always had so much
Yes,
energy.
I
She's always
noticed.
smiling. She was always happy, and I think that's what like drew us to her. That she was very happy and energetic all the time. So we wanted to talk to her. So I think we met or we became close at one of the dinners. I don't exactly remember how we got close, but one day, she invited us to try some of the Vietnamese food, which is pho. She said that she had a whole luggage of food. She had like noodles and cookies and protein bars, like one big luggage full of food. So we were very excited. So she wanted to show us the pho and film our reaction to eating the pho. So that's why we made that food. And then I got the idea. I was like, why don't we do an Instagram live? Why don't we just talk to the fans while we try this pho food? And that's why that Instagram live happened. It was very iconic, I think. I think that's where a lot of the fans saw how close we are and how we're enjoying together. And I think that's where we really showed like our authentic, genuine friendship. We really like looked out for each other and cared about each other. And
So you
one
hit it off right away with her.
Yes, yes. She has so much positive energy. So it was really fun being with her. And she was also very helpful again. One day before the national costume showcase, which was the same day as the preliminaries, one of the stars on my headpiece, it was like coming off. It was a bit breaking. And so I was so worried. So Miss Vietnam, she lent me some glue to stick the national costume back together and make it all okay. So I mean, she's a very positive person. She has so much energy. She's very kind, and she was also very helpful. So these two women, they really helped make my Miss Universe experience an amazing one, a fun one. And it wouldn't have been the same without them. I 100% believe this. So I'm very grateful that I got to be friends with them, and I hope that we can do something together in the future.
Yes. There's always the WhatsApp group for you guys to talk
Yes.
about it. So, oh, that explains it. So I thought the reason why you and Bea got close with Miss Vietnam was because you all had the same chaperone.
No,
But,
Vietnam had a different chaperone. Yeah,
oh, so it was
we
because of that Vietnamese cup
yeah,
noodles thing. And it also helped that you all were hungry or probably craving for one. So that's why you jump in to the idea.
we were all craving for some Asian flavor, some Asian food, because I mean we were in Israel. The food is completely different from what we eat
Yes.
here. So I think we were all excited to try some Asian food after so long.
You must have been so probably hungry. You must have been so hungry that time that you jump into the
I
idea
was
at the
so
risk of
hungry.
looking at the risk of being seen losing your poise while eating Vietnamese cup noodles. So that explains why. So apart from that, what in the national costume, um, almost wardrobe malfunction. So what else were the? Because you also, what were the other things that you guys did together? So how did that um, initial encounter with one another help solidify your friendship as you were all going through the competition? Because let's face it, every one of you was really gunning for a top 16. So how did you guys did not let the whole competition get in the way of your friendship? How did you get to strike a balance between that, being competitive and being chummy chummy with Miss Philippines and Miss Vietnam?
I think the fact that we bonded over food, and we let our guards down. We were genuinely sharing about our worries, about our fears, and I think it helped that because both Vietnam and Philippines are very countries with a strong sash factor, and there's a lot of fans who are always messaging both Beatrice and Kim. So I think that's where they were talking about their experiences. They were talking about how they're nervous, how they don't want to let their country down. And I think I was able to share a bit. I mean, Singapore is completely different from these two countries in pageants. We're a bit more not so popular. So I think I got to share about, just be yourself, just don't worry about all these things. What made us a very strong friend group was that we were open with each other. We shared about our nervousness, we shared about our fears, and we talked about it to each other, and we calmed each other down, and we were always there for each other. So that's what made it like the most wonderful friendship ever. Like no matter what time of the day it was, you could always go to Miss Vietnam or Miss Philippines and ask them to listen um, to me rant or vent about what's making me sad or nervous. So I think that was really really helpful. And I think there's the pinned comment that says, who else was my close friend aside from Philippines and Vietnam. The other person in our friend group was Miss Nepal. So we have a WhatsApp group together, me, Philippines, Vietnam, and Nepal, and we're all planning to do an Instagram live together soon. So she was also one of our best friends. Um, so Miss Nepal was in the room next to us. So we also got very close, and she shared a lot about her experience doing pageants because she was the oldest amongst all of us. She was 28, and she had done so many pageants before. So she really shared to us about her pageant experience and helped us all calm down because we were getting nervous. This was our first pageant and things like that. So it was a really fun experience. That was
Yeah.
that was our 4 people friend group, and it was an amazing experience. I can't wait to meet them again.
I could really relate with what you said because I was able to interview Miss Nepal before she flew to Israel, and
Mhm.
she's really a beautiful soul. She has a really an amazing personality, and even has one of the most intelligent girls competing
It's
in
very
your
sad.
batch. And it really makes me sad that she did not even make it to top 16. Considering I feel, if you ask me, up to this day, I feel like she's really one of the most eloquent and intelligent girls
Yes.
in this year's Miss Universe. And if it were, just like you said, if it were just based on interviews, I think she should have made it. So
Yeah.
I assume you three were comforting her because out of the four of you, she was the only one who did not make it. So
It was a bit
yeah,
sad. When we went backstage, we were all hugging each other. We were being excited for each other, but we also had to think about how Miss Nepal was feeling because four of out of the four of us, three of us had made it into top 16. But we were telling her that even though she didn't make it in the top 16, that doesn't mean she's not an amazing person. We love her so much, and we see that she's a very strong woman. She's put so much effort into this. And so we were telling her that we still see her as an amazing woman. And it doesn't matter whether you make it into top 16 or not, you're still a very strong person who got to represent your country. That's not something, anyone can say. You got to represent your country and be the one showcasing your country, being an ambassador for your country. So we were comforting her and telling her that, it's okay. And we're just so excited to see what she does next.
Yeah, and I think she was. I mean, for sure she was sad, but I think was able to move on quickly because the next thing we saw, she hopped on. I thought she was going back to her home country, but then wow, she took a vacation with
She's
her
on a
family in
vacation. She's
Spain.
enjoying
So
her
like,
life.
yeah. So wait. So apart from Miss Nepal, someone's asking here from Kung Fu Panda. Please share your best moments with Harnas Sandu, the reigning Miss Universe.
Of course, our Miss Universe. And I mean, even though she's Miss Universe right now, she will always be Miss India for me from next door, because she was in the room next to me, and we always had to knock on her door and ask her to come out quickly for breakfast or whatever it is. So she will always be that for me. I think with Miss India, um, we did I did an Instagram live with Nepal and India once. I think it's on my I think it's on Miss Nepal's Instagram page. And
Yes.
that was very exciting for me because I'm of Indian descent, even though I'm representing Singapore. So it was very exciting for us to talk about how we're from South Asia, because Nepal is also next to India. And I think that was a very memorable moment where me and Miss India, we were talking in Hindi to each other. So it's so amazing that even though we're from completely different countries, we could speak the same language to each other. And she would always, after a very stressful day, she would always come back and vent her frustrations or her nervousness in Punjabi or Hindi, and I would just listen and be a listening ear for her. So it was very nice that we all felt close enough to share these worries with each other, because again, India is another big pageant country, and she
Yes.
was feeling a lot of pressure from the fans, from the organization. She's a very strong girl, don't get me wrong. She knew what she had to do. But sometimes you just have to talk to someone else about your feelings and to, feel less nervous and more confident. So Miss Nepal and Miss India were in one room, and I would always go and hang out in their room along with Miss Philippines, and we would talk to each other about what was stressing us out, what was the best food we had that day, or what outfit we're wearing for tomorrow. So we would talk about everything. So it was really fun doing that.
Oh, that explains why Bea is also close to
Yeah.
with Miss India. Wait, before we proceed, can I just give a huge shout out to Jack Hesselwood? He's the reigning Mr. World from
Oh my
another
God.
passion. Hi Jack,
Wow.
thanks for watching. I hope to
This is
interview you
an
soon about
honor.
Mr. World. About Miss World. Yeah, so going back to yeah, wow. I got so thrilled that he's watching. He's eavesdropping or dropping or suddenly dropping by. But thank you, Jack. Thank you. I really appreciate the huge shout out. So going back, so in from all stories, I noticed that and from what I've seen on social media, Harnas is really down to earth. She's very relatable. She really gets along with girls. I also interviewed Miss Great Britain, Emma Collins Bridge, a few weeks ago, and she said that India is really a very nice candidate to hang out
She's
with.
a very sweet girl. Yes.
So, at least from your end, Miss India is a very beautiful soul. She's a very nice friend to all of you. And I think
She's
that's
very
is probably one of the reasons why, Miss Universe crowned her is because of her relatability and how she easily gets along with everyone else, whether you're a contestant or you're part of the organization. So yeah, is she really
I
nice
think,
in person? Like super duper lovable. Like you really wanna be friends with type of girl
yeah,
the
one
moment
of
you
the
see
things
her.
I noticed about her, and want to, like, there's always things that you see in the different candidates or the different contestants that I want to be more like them. So one of the things for Miss India was that she was always talking and being kind to everyone she met. So even if they were the photographer or the makeup artist or the stylist or just people in public, when we went out, she would always speak to them and hear about their story and ask them, how are they feeling, what are they doing. And I really liked that she was extroverted. She was always making friends with everyone in the Miss Universe staff, in the she even made friends with one of the waiters at the restaurant. So I thought that was so sweet of her, that she was speaking to every single person and acknowledging them and being kind to them. So I thought that was a very good skill to have and a very good thing that she was doing. So that's something I want to do in 2022 onwards, that I will speak to everyone, I'll be friends with everyone. Even if I'm feeling tired and sad, even if she was feeling tired from a very long day, she would speak to the staff and the chef of the restaurant. So I really liked that. She was very outgoing. And I think that's what also made her stand out and made her Miss Universe, that she's the perfect girl to, meet thousands of people and inspire them.
Well, that's great. So when she and Bea made it to top five,
Mhm.
I can feel all the, for sure you were so overjoyed. Yeah, I saw
Yes.
your IG story with Miss Vietnam that, yeah, go Bea, you were saying that. So yeah. And then when Bea did not make it to top three, so I assume you were just rooting for Miss India to win.
Yes, I mean, once it came down to top three, Miss India was the only Asian. And so, as the Asian girls, we were rooting for her, because not just because she's Asian, but because she was our best friend. So we were a bit biased. If you had asked us, we would have said she's the winner, because we were a little bit biased towards her because we loved her so much. But we were very excited to see her win, and because we had seen every single day how badly she wanted this. She had a little journal where she would write down every day her thoughts, or like what she planned to do. She would, do workouts in like the early morning. So she was very dedicated to this crown, and I had never seen anyone as dedicated as her. And so I, in my heart from the beginning, I thought that she was going to be the winner.
Yeah, because yeah, I can. I was supposed to say I can relate with what you said because I wait, not relate. I remember what Miss Great Britain also said about Miss India during my interview with her last time. She said that even if she wasn't doing anything, it was a free day for her, and she saw Miss India from afar, heavily made up for an activity. Miss India would still say hi to her from afar, and really wouldn't act a diva, at
Mm.
least to her. So yeah, uh wait, there's a question here. You know, we've been talking for more than 1 hour, and I hope I'm not wearing you out because we just
No, it's
couldn't
fine.
really
I
get
love.
enough of you girls in Israel last time. There's a question here from Bri David. One thing that Bea told you that you'll never forget.
I mean, we talked so much. So let me think. One thing that she told me, I think in the last few days, she saw that, I was getting sad that the pageant was getting completed, and that we had to go back, because it was such an amazing 2 weeks, that I was getting sad in the last days. What if, I'm thinking, what should I do after this? What should I do as Miss Universe Singapore? So telling me that, just be yourself, just do what makes you happy, and do what you can to give back to the community. So that's something she shared with me, to always, like, give back to the community. I think, and that's what we've seen. She's been working with, giving back to the local community with the hurricane, that went through Philippines. So I think, that's something I learned from her. Even though she might not have said it in those exact words, something I learned from her is, to always be helpful, or to always give back to the people around you. So that's something I very truly learned from her, and I want to continue doing that.
Yeah, you know what? You girls are all surprising me that you're not just looking at this whole pageant as one big spectacle to prop up your respective resumes,
Yeah.
but but as a platform instead to help other people out. I mean, wow, wow! Look at how pageantry has really, gone to really make a difference in everyone's lives, and even just by changing the perspectives of all their contestants like you. Wow. because my point here is that, even after the competition, just when I assume, I can imagine you guys were both saying goodbye to each other, you would still talk about uh the need to help people other out, to help people out, instead of, hey, when instead of like, hey, when can we see you again, like, should we
Yeah,
plan our next trip together? Well, that really says a lot about how you guys are all empowered in every sense of the word, and not just on paper.
definitely.
So would you consider that as one of your best memories with Bea? Vince Garcia is asking.
I think to answer Garcia's question, I think my best memories with Bea were at the rehearsals actually, because during rehearsals, it's a very long rehearsal, and a lot of times we are sitting and watching other people practice the stage blocking or the stage movements. So it was really fun to sit next to her and to talk about different things like how excited we are to be there and what food we're craving and what we want to see in each other's countries, because I think she was sharing with us that about the different languages in Philippines, or like her history with, she plays sports, and she has a younger sister. She was telling us about her family. So I think that was the time where we got to really spend quality time with each other and talk to each other about our families, about what we do, what we want to do in the future. So it was really nice to hear about her and learn more about her. So I think those were my best memories, sitting there and watching the rehearsals happen with her.
I can really see that, or imagine that bond, that or connection that you have with Bea. Wow. Yeah, yeah. Even if the rehearsals are very, very long, you would really take your time out to get to know the person beside you,
Yeah,
just to, not just to pass time, but you to
but genuine.
genuinely connect with one another. Yeah. There's a question here from my colleague. His name is Mars France. Hi, Mars France. Thank you for
Hi,
watching. Let's deviate from a bit from what we've been talking about. What makes Singapore unique? Never been to Singapore. Can you share can you share to us about Singapore?
I think what makes Singapore unique is that we are so diverse. I mean, Adam, you've been to Singapore before, so you know this. But we have a Chinatown, we have a Little India, we have Kampong Glam, we have all these places that represent the different people in Singapore. And you can, let's say, you go to eat food, you can eat food from all over the world just by coming to Singapore. So even though we have, we're a very small country, you might be thinking, what can I see in Singapore? But we are just so diverse. We have people from all over the world, and because of that, we have this very unique culture where it's all mixed up with everything. You get this unique culture that you don't get anywhere else. So I think that's what makes Singapore unique, and that's why I would encourage everyone watching this, once COVID restrictions are down, once everyone is safe, come visit Singapore, because it's really a very unique experience where you get to see the very traditional cultural elements, but you also get to see like skyscrapers and like unique technology and things like that. So you can go up to the Marina Bay Sands. You can also go down to Little India and see like authentic temples. So it's very unique culture, and I hope you can all come and visit Singapore.
But you know what, for me, if you will
Mhm.
ask my opinion, whether I'm in Little India, Chinatown, Burgess, what stations are there? Nova, no, what's the name of the
Novena,
place?
there's a Novena.
Yeah. Um, I will always crave and look for chili crabs. And I will find it best in Clark Key, in Jumbo Restaurant. Or if I'm
Yeah,
not, if, Mars France, apart from the sites, you really have to go on a food trip if you visit
Singapore has
Singapore
some
someday. Their
amazing
chili
food.
crabs are the best. And not just the chili crabs, the Hainanese chicken.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So the
No,
next
no,
time I go there to
completely
Singapore, I
understand.
won't go to Marina Bay Sands. I won't go to Marina Bay Sands anymore. To these iconic landmarks there, but go binge on even the shaved ice cream, the Hainanese
Singaporeans
chicken,
love
and the
food,
chili crabs, the
so there's
best.
amazing food here.
So yes, what else? Are there any more questions here? So I'm gonna wrap this up. So
All
there's
right.
we just want to sorry for really indulging you for almost a 2-hour interview. So we just can't get enough of you. your relationship with Bea, not just and Miss Vietnam, apart from your trailblazing performance in Miss Universe. So, as we wrap up this interview, what can you advise young girls or young aspiring beauty queens there in Singapore who would like to follow your footsteps?
I think the one piece of advice that I can give to any young girl and to everyone actually watching this is don't try to be someone else. You have to genuinely, truly be yourself in order to do well in these kind of competitions, because sometimes people have expectations that, oh, I'm going into a pageant, I must be like a certain way, I must do makeup a certain way, I must speak a certain way. They sometimes people put these expectations on themselves. So I think the most important thing is to genuinely, truly just be yourself. Just be kind, just be amazing, just be your authentic self, and think about how you can be a better version of yourself through the pageant. I think that's the most important thing that you should be focusing on, and that's the best advice I can give you. Because I, when I first joined Miss Universe Singapore, I was thinking, oh, I need to have long hair, I need to do makeup a certain way, I need to walk a certain way, I need to, all these things I was telling myself after watching the other Miss Universe like videos. But what changed through the pageant, what I learned was that it's very important to just be myself and just be authentic and kind. And that's what got me to top 16. And I can only hope that in the next few years, Singapore can go on and hopefully become Miss Universe one day.
So, would you also say the same thing, or would you also say the same advice to your successor?
Yes, definitely. That's the one piece of advice I can give you is that don't try to imitate other countries, or like you don't have to be like India or Philippines or Vietnam or even the Latino guy. You don't have to be like Colombia or Puerto Rico. Just be yourself and be Singapore. That's what's important, because we are a very unique country and you must show that uniqueness to the world.
That's nice. You know what? Well, that's a great advice. Yeah, showcase your true self. Ever since IMG took over Miss Universe, they have never lost sight of the fact, or they've never been remiss of reminding us that your most shining quality for the pageant is your unique self, or your inner beauty. I know it sounds so preachy, but it is
It
so
is.
true.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know what? A lot of people have been asking you since the start of this
That's
interview,
great.
what's next for you? And do
Mm.
you even have plans to attend or compete in another pageant?
So, what's next for me is that I'm still doing my degree. So, I'm a university student. So, right now, I am taking my classes, I am writing my exams. So, I'm focusing on my studies right now. But one thing I want to focus on is training the next batch of Miss Universe Singapore girls. Because, like I said, I don't want my top 16 placement to be a one time thing. I want it to keep happening. I want it to keep going forward. I want to see a top five Singapore. I want to see a top three Singapore. So I will continue to train and help the next batches of girls to be better versions of themselves. And one thing I do want to explore is to continue doing modeling, especially like international modeling. I'd love to go to Paris or New York or all these different countries and be a model there. So that's something I want to explore. I know people are asking me if I'll do another pageant. That's something I will have to see in the future. I'm pretty sure after 1 year I will start missing the pageant scene. So maybe I will consider going to Miss World or Miss International. But as of now, I don't think I'm planning to go for a pageant yet. But it might change. I never know. Maybe in December, if you ask me again, I'll be preparing. I'll be going towards Miss World. So we'll see how I feel about it.
You never know, because
You never
guys,
know.
she's only 21 years old.
I still
So
have a lot
she
of time, I
still
feel.
has seven more, no, 5 more years to
Mm.
deal with it, to think about it. Yeah. And she's very well spoken, right? So, oh, why am I telling you this? Oh no, Miss Valerie will kill me. Someone saying here, Miss Supranational, Miss Globe.
So yeah, I will see, because I genuinely enjoyed my pageant experience. So I am thinking, should I join it again? But for now, I am just enjoying my Miss Universe Singapore experience. I'm thinking about what I should do for the rest of my reign until about September, October, when the next Miss Universe Singapore is crowned. So I'm thinking about what I can do for Singapore because we are still getting COVID cases. There's still a lot of people who need help here. So I'm thinking about what I can do for them and how I can help improve Singapore.
So can I ask another question? Since you're only
Right.
21, would you advise girls to who has pageant dreams to start joining at such a young age so that they can really have a huge time to develop their learning curve as opposed to if they join like in the in their middle 20s.
I think it really depends on how ready you feel because you shouldn't be joining pageants because of a timeline. You shouldn't force yourself to join a pageant when you're young because you think that, oh, when I get old, it might not happen. And some people do amazing at pageants at an older age. Some people do amazing at pageants at a younger age. Like some of the girls who made it up to the top 10, Miss Aruba, I think she's 28 years old, while I'm
Oh,
only 21. So there's a very big age gap between some of the top 10, top 16 contestants. So I think if you're watching and you're thinking, should I be joining a pageant? Don't don't feel stressed that I need to join a pageant now because I'm 18 or 21 years old. You still have a lot of time, and it really depends on how confident you feel and how ready you feel. So don't stress yourself out with that. Just be yourself and think about it. If this is something you really want to do and you feel that this is the right time for you, then go for it. But don't think you have to push yourself and urgently join the pageant because the time is running out.
yeah, yeah. Enjoy your youth.
Yes. Also,
Don't stress about competing in a pageant right away. Enjoy, live a full life. That's what I've been noticing from you girls at Miss Universe. You've been harping all these accomplishments, all these things, interests, your background, your backstories, for us to be in awe of you once we watch you. So okay, so for the benefit of some people here who probably tuned in very late, have you planned any trips with Bea and Miss Vietnam uh, very soon?
so I don't think we have any trips planned for now because the COVID situation is very volatile. There's a lot of cases happening in different countries. So for now, there's no trips planned. But I hope maybe at the end of the year that I can go visit the Philippines, I can visit Vietnam, or even in the middle of the year, maybe around May or during the summer. So I am hoping that that can happen, but it depends on all of us um, beating this virus, getting vaccinated, staying safe, and, being healthy and happy. So I hope that I can do this, but for now, we can only meet online. So we'll be doing a few lives in the next few months coming up. So that's something we're planning for. So just, you can look forward to that first.
Yeah, there's a question here again. Tell us something
Mhm.
about your friendship with Miss Armenia. Were you also close with her?
Yes, so Miss Armenia, her name is Nani. We were quite close to her actually. Me and Philippines, we and the Asian girls, we were very close to her. She was one of the first European country friends, I would say, that I made, and we loved her because she was so outgoing and kind to people. She came from a very big family. I think she has 11 siblings, so she's a very big
Oh,
family, and because of that, she's always looking out for people. She was always asking people had they eaten, have they slept well. She was always hugging people and giving them love. So we were very close to her, and she was very inspiring. I love her story. She's worked so hard to get to where she is right now, and it's very inspiring.
were you also close with the other Latinas in the pageant? Someone's
Uh,
asking here.
Some of the Latinas, I think I was a bit close to Miss Puerto Rico, Miss Colombia. I also spoke to Miss Portugal, Miss Spain, Miss Mexico. I think I wouldn't say I was as close as Philippines or Vietnam. Me and Philippines and Vietnam, we were like, and Nepal, we were like best friends. But I did speak to them on a regular basis, and it was Miss Mexico. I think. She's a very sweet girl. She's always taking pictures with everyone and speaking to everyone because she wants to learn about the different every single girl. So I thought that was really nice.
Oh, that's nice. So, as my last question, sorry guys, I had to end this now. We've been running for almost 2 hours, and probably, Miss Nandita here is very too shy to ask me to end it right away. So,
No, no, it's
I
fine.
know how to, yeah, because I know that I only asked for 1 hour, but we've been running for like more than an hour already. So, as my last question, was there something that you regret doing, and something that you were so proud of during your entire 2 week run in Miss Universe?
I think I don't regret doing anything because I try not to worry about what I've done in the past, because we can't change the past. We can only see, I mean, look forward to the future and think about what can I do better in the future. So I don't really regret anything. There are some things that I look back on and think I could have done a bit better, but I don't regret it. I just think about what can I do better next time. So that I don't think I regret anything. I Maybe you think I'm not answering the question, but I genuinely don't regret. I think one thing I'm very proud of is being able to represent my country on that stage and feel confident on that stage. I mean, before we step on stage, especially for the preliminaries, there's so much nervousness that we carry because we're just thinking, if this is where I showcase my country, this is what determines whether I go into top 16 or top 5 or whatever it is. So I think I was so nervous for the preliminaries, and I'm just very proud of myself for doing my best and showcasing to the world that Singapore girls have a lot of talent. So that's something I'm really proud of, my preliminaries performance.
It's really about time Singaporeans make a killing in pageants like Miss Universe. And thank you for being the drought breaker, for showing the way for Singaporeans to really slay it in the next few years. Who knows? We might even see the first Miss Universe from Singapore in this decade, right?
Definitely,
You're
that's
their
something
lucky charm right now.
me and Miss Valerie Lim we're working to that right now.
For sure, next year I can already see. Oh, not next year, later this year, you'll be swapped with many application forms.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, because yeah, thank you for being, for being such a huge inspiration to all these young women there in Singapore. So on that note, thank you so much. My gosh, almost 2 hours. Can you believe it? Reminiscing your time in Miss Universe. Guys, if you still can't get enough of her, you will still. She, along with Bea and Vietnam, are planning to do a special live with you guys here on Instagram next month. So you better wait for that. So there ends it. I really had such a great time getting to know you, even if the pageant is over, has already ended. Thank you for giving us your time and effort in gracing this interview. No words, Miss Nandita. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I
Thank you
hope
so
to
much for
see you
having me.
soon in the near future.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, even though it's so late at night, you're here talking to me. All these fans are watching. I'm not sure what time it is, where you're from, but if it's very late, please sleep. It's very important to sleep. So I think thank you so much for supporting me and for watching and for giving all this support to me. It really means so much. You're always feel free to, drop me a message, instant DM me on Instagram. I love listening to people's, what all the things they have to say to me, and I'm really excited. Maybe we can do another live next month. Every month you can interview me if you want. We can have 2 hour lives. So I'm really happy that I got to speak with you today, Adam.
The good thing about you is that you're so young. The world is your oyster, or the universe rather is your oyster right now. Anything, so many opportunities for sure will be coming your way. For sure, after this interview or after your Miss Universe participation, modeling agencies from Paris, New York, Milan might even be hiring you to become one of their models. That's of
Sweet.
course after your reign. Yeah. So thank you so much once again. No words. Thank you so much. And Miss Valerie, Miss Universe Singapore organization, thank you so much for making this interview possible. No words, no words. You really made a whole legion of Asian fans so happy tonight. Thank you so much. So God bless you, Miss Nandita. Stay safe and hydrated. And virtual hugs and kisses all the way here from Manila. Mwah.
Thank you so much for having me, Adam, and good night to everyone. Have a good dinner, have a good sleep. I love you all.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.